What's up, y'all? What's up? I think we live. We are live. All right. So here we go. Let's get. It's been. I never did this before this way. So let's do it. Okay. And that's so YouTube is started, and we're going to start Facebook. What's up? And Facebook is going, and we want to do TikTok, and then we'll share the other Facebook, and we'll get this things rocking and rolling. So just get started. So I'm getting started. This is part of the lesson, y'all. Get started, right? Just don't wait till everything perfect. So that's my lesson for today. So we're going to get that kicked off. Hey, Dr. Malcolm D. Alexander here, the Treadmill Wealth Coach. Get to some things going. Let's see. Here we go. Here we go. Okay, wait a minute. TikTok, we're going to tell you, just get started, start. Was that the name? I think it was. Most important thing is to start. Let me check it because my brain is a little off sometimes. Okay. Let me see what it says. I think it started. Starting at the bottom. That's what it was. Starting at the bottom. Same thing. Get started. Starting at the bottom, start. Okay. I'm glad I checked it. That's my little bit of memory loss stuff I got going on since my accident. Starting at the bottom. Okay, y'all. So TikTok, what's going on? Dr. Malcolm D. Alexander here, Treadmill Wealth Coach. So we got a lot of things going on today. Starting at the bottom, just start. Okay, so we got three things happening. My glasses are falling off. Make sure I hold my balance here. All right, so I got a couple more things to do really, really quick, and we'll be good to go. So this one is, okay, so copy that. I should be able to do it right here where I'm at. I think I'm on that page. Okay, here we go. Starting at the bottom, start. So now we're on this one. Starting at the bottom, start. That's good to go. All right. Oh, worked better on that page. All right, y'all. Good stuff. Let me get out of here and go into starting at the bottom, start. Not quite going to go there today. So let's go back here. Share with a few folks. And then we'll be good to go. So, all right. Okay, so we got that going. Where I gotta go? Oh, I almost forgot. Okay, one more place to go. TikTok, I'm on the way. Okay. Whew. Myself together here. All right, here we are. Boom. All right. Okay, starting at the bottom, start. I want to try that one. Oh, I got to do this again. Oh, I don't like that at all. Woo! No, 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 no. I'll tell you what happened, guys. Okay, so I went to start, right, and I hit a not an emoji, but something on Instagram, right, and I tried. I thought it was going to show some stars. It turned me into a star, all right, a little bit like as they would say, a fairy or something. That's not in a negative sense. I'm just saying I didn't want to be that. So let me see. Starting at the bottom. Okay, so let's try this again. All right, all right. I did it that way again. I messed that all up. Let's flip flop it back there. All right, what's going on now? I did that. Winners all around. Hold on, y'all. Woo! I got a bunch of stuff happening. Whew. Okay, here we go. And I got to get the health together, y'all. Whew! I got to lose this. I got to get back on my fix. Okay, so here we go. Today we got live Instagram, TikTok, multiple Facebooks, and YouTube. All right. So the topic is starting at the bottom. Start. Just start. You know, I want to talk about that topic today because going through a lot lately, and I had to make some decisions. And I'll be forthright with you. Many of you know I had a health scare challenge in 2024, and this is part of my therapy. Now, I actually was doing this before, but being able to talk on the treadmill, being able to learn to multitask again, things of that nature. I had a brain brain bleed and a whole bunch of stuff going on. And between that and a contentious divorce and all those issues and fighting for my children, I find myself in a position that people watch social media and they draw their own conclusions, which is what people do with social media, and it can screw people's lives up. And social media is not real. Like, I've started some of these lives before, and then I stopped them and turned them off. They disappear, right? And then I do it later or do it another day, or sometimes I do it one day and I don't bring back on again. So when I'm feeling okay and everything is good, here we are, right? I'm talking, I'm training. Sometimes I get out of breath. I take a breath. Sometimes I disappear to go get something to drink or get my composure, whatever. But the world chooses to come up with their own conclusion. And so I'm honest, fear has hampered me from doing what I do best and sharing my blessing that God gave me with the world like I'm used to doing and getting other things in place. But it's 2026. And I'm going to tell y'all something. Because people will try to destroy you and bring you down. And sometimes you just have to fight the powers that be for the betterment of yourself. And that's where I am in 2026. And I'm going to come after some people. I'm just telling you. So those of you who are watching this, beware. Because this ain't going to be a pretty year. It's a new foundation. It's a new year. And here we go. So it sort of fits into the theme I wanted to talk about of starting at the bottom. Another thing that brings me to that is that some of the things I've been working at, I've realized that some people don't understand what it means to start at the bottom. And there's two folds to that. One is that some people don't understand it and they want to start at the top, which is what a lot of people want to do. And so they never start. Or they start, but it's very sporadic of what they could be doing because they think people will judge them for being at the bottom or they don't have everything perfect. Let me tell you something. Nobody's perfect. Jesus died for our sins because we're not perfect, right? Nobody's perfect, y'all. You got to start. Start where you are. Secondly, some people will wait until it's perfect, which means they'll wait forever because they'll never be perfect, or until they think it's perfect, and they will lose time, opportunities, money, all types of things because they're waiting for it to be perfect. Don't let that be you. Start. Nike said, just do it. So here we go. Get started. And some people hold themselves back and other people back because they want it to be perfect. And one of the things that God blessed me with, and I've been capable of doing my life, and I have not gotten to where I want to get to yet. But I'll tell you where I have gotten. I've gotten to a situation where I started my life as an entrepreneur. And I was determined to build a life myself. Now, I could have went off and got million and billion dollar deals. I could have gone and done what a lot of some of my friends and celebrities did. Pay the price. I think a lot of people are realizing that now with all the stuff that came out with the Diddy situation about the price that people actually pay to go win extra, right? To become that household name, to become that celebrity. Everything has a price and a cost. And some of those costs and price, I didn't want to pay. But what I did do is I started. And although everything's never been perfect, I was able to go from somebody who had a dream of being an entrepreneur to my entire adult life working for myself. I was able to go to the point that I was able to buy the $1 million homes, the luxury cars, travel the world, and more importantly, raise my children so I could take them to school every day, pick them up every day. And at that time I was married, and my ex-wife now, I don't want to be a co-host in there because I'm doing a host here. Okay. I'll figure it out, TikToks. Bear with me. I'm starting at the bottom. But my ex-wife didn't work a job. I took care of everything. But at the same time, I took those kids to school every day. I picked them up every day, even when I didn't even have any children yet. My stepson, when we dated, then we got married, I did the same thing for him. I won Parent of the Year, which I'm a father, almost every year, and multiple schools. Out of 4 boys, I only missed 4 field trips until the divorce, or until 2 years after the divorce, because that's when things changed, went haywire, because our system and because of other things that I can't talk about at this moment. But don't you worry, it's coming soon. We're going to share it all. And I was able to do all those things by being an entrepreneur, which most people never do. I bought my cars. I bought my homes. I didn't have a hidden job. And I got to the point that I lived better than most. That's not to brag. That's to say, look, guys, you can do it too. But you're going to have a sacrifice, a grind, and make some things happen. And some of that has to do with you starting at the bottom. Yeah, TikTok, at the bottom. TikTok was cool, man. Y'all be coming on. I appreciate y'all. I have my glasses on, right? I can say thank you. I need to do that, right? I need to get better at that. I was doing that before. So, Galar, what's going on? Michelle, thank you for joining. Tazo, all right. Thank you. You know, I got to get better at that. I was doing it before. Kennedy, Al Capone, what's up, sir? Right? What's up, Ray? Right. I hear you. I see you. I see y'all on here. Yogi, what's going on? All right. Let's see what Facebook got going on. Okay. Instagram is always telling people you're coming on. And YouTube, you be there forever. Facebook disappear now after 30 days. They erase you. Right? Instagram, who knows what's going on? And they're going to follow suit of Facebook. So they're all different. But they all started at the bottom. And here they are today. And even when you start, things begin to change as you develop, right? That happens too. But my point is, I did all of that, and I had success that most only dream of. And even to this day, that most only dream of by being able and capable to understand that it's not where you are, it's where you're going and where you want to be. And I've watched a lot of people fail, never start, and get misconstrued about what it takes to succeed. I want to tell you a story because I have a friend of mine who's so caught up on what the perception, and he's not wrong, but he's wrong in the idea that often it's better to do something than nothing just because you think you're not perfect. He's wrong. And I don't want you to fall into that category because you can't ever get time back. You can't ever get possibilities back that you missed. And so he misses many things because he's too caught up in trying to appear perfect at the moment. The world ain't perfect. The world's not black and white. It's gray. And so many things are missed. And I don't want that to happen to you. So let me tell you a story. Many of you know I owned a newspaper and then a magazine called Straight from the Street. A little tired, so hold on a second. All right, y'all. Thanks. Give me a second. I owned a newspaper, then a magazine called Straight from the Street, and we eventually got national distribution. And I had the experience of being on the newsstands, having a lot of power in the industry. I got a 7-Eleven closed down, an IHOP closed down. Some people trembled when I walked in the room because I had power. I wasn't trying to use it as a negative thing, but if you were doing people wrong, then I could expose you. Now, I didn't start off that way. I wanted to be all positive. But unfortunately, because of y'all, the world don't like all positive. The world responds often to negativity and drama and stuff. So I had to incorporate some of that stuff into the magazine so we could get the sales on the newsstand and so we could grow. But my bottom line, my point of the story is that we had ups and downs, and I had people to work for me and people to left and people that screwed us and all types of, you're going to have that in business, right? And one time I was running out of money. I lost, I think it was my senior editor. And I had an editorial director at the time. And most at that time, my team worked on either commission if they sold stuff, which it was usually just me, or they were writers and things of that nature and promotion people, but they didn't get paid. They got experience. And I appreciate one of my guys, Jamal King, because he came to me years later, said, I didn't realize how much power I had and such the blessing that you gave me to be a writer for Straight from the Street. And I appreciate people like that, even if it takes a while for them to get it. I had a young lady used to work for me. She thought I was rich. I wasn't rich. She probably was richer than me, right? And then when I began to pay people, people wanted, one thing about having people on salary or paying people is they don't care about you. They want their money regardless. And I get it. But it's a little different when you start off together and you're trying to make it happen. But that's a whole different trade. But anyway, I'm getting to the point. There was a issue that sort of everything fell apart. And I'll never forget, it had Shabba Ranks on the cover. It was actually the issue that my foster father stopped supporting my magazine. He used to love it, brag about me, brag about the magazine, all over the church, everything. And this is how times change. And all of a sudden, it was like he hated my magazine. And he didn't like what I was doing. And I didn't understand why. And I realized it was this issue, that Shabba Ranks was on the cover. You know why? Because Shabba Ranks in the interview, and I didn't even do the interview, but it was my magazine. This is why when you're at the top, it comes down on you, right? And Shabba Ranks in the interview mentioned the fact the AIDS epidemic was out. And he mentioned the fact, not that you shouldn't, just because AIDS epidemic, but it's a big thing. But he mentioned the fact, use a condom. Use a condom. And my foster father got bent out of shape. How dare he could say something like that? And how dare you would publish something like that? The world shifted, hasn't it? But back then, and where he came from, that was like taboo, a bad word. Don't you dare say something like that. And so he didn't like my magazine after that. But anyway, this issue with Shabba Ranks, we were struggling. And I remember going over to the young lady's house. She wasn't my senior editor, which generally did this job. But we sat at her house on a dot matrix printer for 2 days. And that's the only thing I could afford. And the only thing we do. And we printed out the magazine on a dot matrix printer. Now, for those of you who don't know what a dot matrix printer is, it prints all the letters and everything you print out, not like an inkjet, not like a laser, but it prints it out in tiny little dots. So if you look at it carefully, you can see everything made up with tiny little dots. You can see it with the regular eye. Not only that, it's separated the words because computers weren't like they are today. So it separated the words. Some words were closer together. Some words were farther apart. Some of the fonts looked weird. Look crazy, y'all. But you know what? I printed it out, pasted it up the best I could because I don't think I can even afford to go to my paste up guy that day. Took it to the printer, printed that magazine, and I put that magazine in the stores, and I put that magazine took it to the shows, and my team, and we passed out that magazine just like we passed out every single magazine that came before it that looked prettier, that was set up nice, that it wasn't on a dot matrix printer, that the pictures were clear. We did the thing, y'all. And I was like, oh my God. And I think it was Russell Simmons came to me and said, Malcolm, you'll always make it. First of all, you're not scared to ask for the money, which a lot of people can't do. And secondly, if you have the guts and those things, and you have what it takes to do it regardless, don't care what people think, and do the best that you can do and keep moving forward like you have done with this issue right here, you're the beast. That's what it takes to win. And that was long before I had the cars and the houses and the millions of dollars and traveled the world. This was on my journey up. So my point is, it felt like the bottom of the bottom from the brand and the success and the things that people were used to. But I didn't let that stop me from doing what I needed to do just to keep on moving. Even though I might have felt like I backtracked or I was at the bottom. Years later, you still have ups and downs. I started with an ex-girlfriend of mine. We started putting in place a streaming service. We were going to help with people with podcasts and interviews. And she left me hanging. And we have to regroup and find folks. If you want to do podcasts, if you want to talk to people about doing interviews and interview people, it's a lot of opportunity. But sometimes you feel like you're at the bottom again. Guys and gals, you're a true leader. You're a true winner. If you can do the best that you can do and keep it moving. Even if you feel like you're at the bottom, or if you're starting at the bottom, or you end up at the bottom for a moment. I'm going to leave you with one other story about starting at the bottom and about your character and grind to success. See, I'm the type of person that doesn't just say things. I retain information. I share stories because stories sell and facts tell. Don't nobody care about facts. I want to hear about stories. I'm a real person, right? Go to the real doctor. Got to lose some more real weight, right? Got to really start over and things, right? Come on, y'all. That's why I do this. That's why they call me the treadmill wealth coach, because I took things I needed to do, which is keep the metabolism going and work out a little bit. And, you know, I had a big diabetes scare years ago. I took all those negative things and made it a positive. And then I share the blessing when I'm on social media and I can talk to you guys and I can talk to people. And so I'm not just talking. If you saw my presentation today or the last day or so, we'll be doing them more hopefully every day. Go to my Facebook, Malcolm D. Alexander. You can also go to Dr. Malcolm Alexander and check out the presentation. You'll see it's about helping you. It's about helping people. And all my life, our companies and things that I've done has been about helping people. Even if people talk trash about you, even if people are negative, even if people are scammers, even if people do you wrong. Your blessings don't come from God, from what's in front of you sometimes. It comes from you and the character you have, and it comes to you many other ways, sometimes not in the situation that you would like it to come or in the time you would like it to appear. And so the last story I want to leave you with of resilience, starting at the bottom, all that type of good stuff. I got a brain freeze. I got to remember what the story was. Don't fall and hit your head, y'all. All right. But I got lots of stories, so maybe I'll pick one. Right. But let me think for a second. Where did I go? Where was I going? I did my magazine Straight from the Street story. Told you some fill-ins, right? And had something to do with still starting at the bottom. Well, I don't know. It'll come back to me, and I'll have a part 2. But let me tell you, I got another story, so I'll tell you that story. I'll tell you a creative story that we did with our record company. We were at the bottom. We didn't wait until we had a record deal. We didn't wait until we knew all of the industry. My partner should go back and remember this. If you listen to this, my brother, think about it. We didn't have it together. But we hustled. We called lots of places. And we got K-Swiss. Remember the tennis shoe K-Swiss as a sponsor? They didn't know us from Adam. We just called enough people, talked to enough people. They didn't give us any money, but they gave us tennis shoes, sweatshirts, hats, water bottles. They gave us a lot of paraphernalia that we could give away, that we could even pay people with. We could even sell some so we could put out our first record. That was probably about 20 records ago, decades ago. Probably about 7 different acts. That was before the Grammy nominations, considerations. That was before the #1 Billboard hits. That was before people looked up and realized we had a television show and that she would help change some people's lives. And that moi have retired over 100 people from their jobs and created over 3 millionaires. Don't just talk about it, y'all do it. And help somebody do better than you. And amazing things will play out. Well, there's some tidbits for you to think about. You just got to start sometimes, guys. You just got to do it. They always say, successful people, they'll jump out of a plane and figure out how to put the parachute on the way down. But most of the population, they don't even want to get in the plane, let alone jump. And they won't even leave the ground until they went to parachute training, tested that a couple different times. And there's only then a smaller percentage of people that will even go far enough to try. But a successful person will jump out the plane and figure out how to put the parachute on the way down. Because I was talking to a friend of mine today. Success comes with pain. Success comes with failing more than you succeed. And if you're too busy worrying about what people think, and you're too busy worried about what it looks like today, instead of where it can take you tomorrow, you will miss many blessings and many things that can materialize. That magazine that was rough put me in a position that people of money and people of success knew that I was worth the value for them to invest in, put time and money into, and to support. So while you're thinking that you're looking great and you're perfect, don't get it twisted or fooled. That's not what people who can pull you up and who understand winning are thinking about you. Don't take this wrong, but you're too busy worrying about the little guy who barely supports you anyway. Or your ego's too big when your success hasn't caught up to who you really are. Don't bluff yourself and don't try to bluff the world. Just get started and win and keep pushing. Oh, I remember now what the story was. So you're going to get it before I sign out of here. I've told this story many times. I went to Duke Ellington School of the Arts, and I wasn't the best drummer. My friend Mark was better than me. Just at least playing the drum set, that is. Oh, man, Art was better than me. Tillman was better than me. Tiggy was better than me. Go-Go, at least. But I made more money than all of them. I made more money in the entertainment industry and as a drummer than all of them to this day. This isn't a brag, it's for you to learn from a story. I made more money as a young musician, reading music and playing all types of instruments, than they did being better than me at the drums, even though we were all in the percussion department. Even my percussion teacher, once upon a time, years later, asked me for a job because I had had so much success. Guys, I wasn't the best. But one thing that people that mattered, not the ones who didn't, but the ones that mattered understood, and they knew because of my actions, is that I would always do the best that I could do. I was dependable, I was creative, and I would show up. And as I've taught my kids, the number one thing you got to do to start is show up. And because of that, I got all the work, all the jobs. I don't think I ever got replaced permanently in the percussion area and drums, even though I wasn't the best. So don't try to be perfect. Don't try to think you gotta 100% fake it till you make it, or don't make it at all until you can fake it. Just get started, guys. Just do your best. Just grind. You got to crawl before you can walk, and sometimes you got to go back and crawl again. Success is like this. And successful people don't get caught up in this. They keep a steady plane when it's good and when it's bad, and do the best that they can do. That's my lesson for today. We all start at the bottom in some capacity. But some of us start, but never take the first step. Because our parents made sure we started. The sperm and the egg met, and we got started. But if you didn't swim, or you didn't move forward, ain't nothing happened. You're the greatest. You're a winner. There are winners all around you. Learn to go above and beyond. If y'all know the name of my companies, you know what I'm talking about. Because there was many, many sperm that tried to fertilize that egg. And you are the only one, maybe a twin or triplets or quadruplets on a few occasions, but for the most part, you're the only one that made it. So you are a winner. So go show the world. Hey, I hope you learned a lot today. I had fun teaching it. Sorry for taking a while to get started. Again, my name is Dr. Malcolm D. Alexander. Go register on winnersallaround.com. Check it out. Got a lot of stuff coming with it this year. Go to the YouTube page, Winners All Around, and subscribe. It's a free subscription. Come on, y'all. We'll see you on the beaches and the high seas, y'all. Let us get you on national television with our TV show, DMV Hottest, and the show After Dark. I hope you saw the ball drop and you saw us representing Washington, D.C. With that being said, God bless. I appreciate you guys again. Dr. Malcolm D. Alexander, Winners All Around, the Treadmill Wealth Coach, and I'm going to sign up out of here. I got to get up early. get to the studio. God bless. I'll see y'all next time. Okay, let's see here. Okay, ended it there.